High-speed rail has been around for decades, first appearing in Japan in the 1960s and in Europe in the 80s. However, there is still a great deal of confusion, and often misinformation, about the true costs of these projects. Consider the jaw-dropping $100 billion price tag for California's high-speed rail project. This figure is so large that many dismiss high-speed rail entirely without examining what actually drives the cost. These are the 5 major cost components of a high-speed rail project. Civil works and infrastructure are by far the largest cost bucket. Laying the tracks, signal systems, and electrification are the second largest cost bucket. Land acquisition is third, and the actual stations and trains make up the smallest share of overall costs. Let's take a closer look at each cost component. Civil works and infrastructure, the biggest expense, includes tunnels, viaducts, bridges, embankments, and earthworks. High-speed rail requires straight, level paths with gentle curves, often meaning mountains must be tunneled through and valleys spanned. A single mile of urban tunnel can cost over $500 million. And viaducts can cost tens of millions of dollars per mile. The second largest expense in a high-speed rail project is building tracks, signaling, and electrification. These costs encompass continuous welded rail, power systems, and train control technologies. High-speed rail tracks must safely handle speeds over 180 miles per hour. The tracks must also be fully grade separated, meaning they cannot intersect roads or other rail lines, making collisions nearly impossible. Contrary to popular belief, upgrading old tracks is often as expensive as building new ones, because most existing corridors can't meet these strict requirements. The third largest expense in a high-speed rail project is land acquisition and right-of-way. These costs can escalate quickly, especially in densely populated cities. Property values, legal delays, and community opposition all add cost and time, sometimes more than the construction itself. The final components of a high-speed rail project are the stations, terminals, and trains. These assets are relatively minor expenses. A new high-speed train set can cost tens of millions of dollars, but that pales in comparison to the billions required for tunnels or viaducts. Costs can vary dramatically depending on where high-speed rail is built. In Europe, high-speed lines often cost $20 to $40 million per mile. In contrast, US projects can exceed $100 million per mile. The difference comes down to governance and process. Europe benefits from streamlined permitting, centralized planning, and standard specs. By comparison, US projects face fragmented jurisdictions, protracted reviews, political interference, and costly land battles. For example, Spain's Madrid-Barcelona high-speed line was built for about $30 million per mile, while California's Central Valley segment has topped $100 million per mile even before entering major cities. The lesson isn't that high-speed rail is unaffordable, it's that the US builds it in a way that makes it unnecessarily expensive.